the raw emotions and the feelings that go through you, it's insane because you're just bombarded with all these things, not just the fear, but the embarrassment and scared and ashamed and intimidated and the thoughts of, why me? What did I do wrong? Am I gay? What is going on? And I just felt so dirty. And I was washing myself because I just felt so dirty. And they're knocking on the door and they're laughing and they're saying, "Come on out. We're initiating you. We do this to all the new guys. We'll leave you alone. Just come on out." In my mind, I knew what they did was wrong. And I ultimately made a decision that I was going to go back to the ship and tell somebody because what they did was wrong. And that's what I did. I came out of the bathroom. I had to find my clothing that they had taken off me. One of the guys asked me what I was doing. I said I was going back to the ship. He told me that if I told on them that they were going to kill me. And, I never thought about that comment because that at my thinking point didn't matter to me then. I got back to the ship and honestly, I was crying. I was a mess. They finally ended up taking me down to the master at arms, who was like the police officer of the ship. And he sits me down at the desk across from him and starts to interrogate me. He started to tell me that I can get in trouble for being underage and drinking, that it was my fault. And then it was none of that happened. I'm a mama's boy. I'm homesick. I'm a liar. And what he was doing was basically re-victimizing me all over again. And it got to the point I shut down. I couldn't talk. I just didn't want to deal with this anymore. And I've been asked over the years why I didn't fight back. And in all honesty, I did fight back. And I fought back every time. And the more I fought, the more violent and more brutal they became. But I got to the point a couple of years ago, something like sunk in, and it's like, oh my God, why did nobody else fight for me? One of my rapes, I was knocked into the guy's bunk. I laid across his midsection while I was being raped by two different guys. The guy in the bunk pulled a blanket over his head, never said a word, pretended like he was asleep the whole time, and then never spoke to me afterwards. Why didn't he help me? Why didn't he fight for me? Why didn't the other eight guys that were in that little section fight for me? These are things that I have to live with. This is stuff that every victim and survivor has to live with.